All right, we live. We live. Let me get a sound check going, and then we can get this thing popping. Woo. Tonight we decided to do the Twitter space with our Discord villains. If you remember, what you see up there, if you're looking on YouTube, is all the Discord members, the villains that we talk about. If you don't know what the villain is, that's our membership. Where we have exclusive content. We talk about some things behind the curtains that we would never talk about outside, but we're gonna talk about a little bit of it tonight. And if you want to become a villain, so how smooth I transitioned into that. If you want to become a villain, I'm gonna put the link in the description, man, and the link right now is in the comment section on YouTube. If you're on Twitter, it's right at the top of our Twitter with the little villain ninja man. It's pinned at the top of the Twitter. So we're gonna get in here and get this thing started. Talk about some recruiting. Talk about whatever, man. What's going on? A little slow time, man. The calm before the storm. Okay, let me get a sound check going on.
Hey, what you got going on, man? About to go to work? Or are you coming from work?
Hey, somebody got to mute their background. We need nobody baby mamas getting slapped live on YouTube because I'm snitching. Mute your background, bro. Come on, let's get this sound check going, and then we're gonna get out of here. X, you in here, bro?
I'm in here. I'm waiting to pop off because I got my song I'm ready to play. So
you got your song you ready to play. All right, X.
I said I got my song. I got the song I'm ready to play every Wednesday. I play a song, but I got a song I'm ready to play. But
okay,
everybody know what's going on. Hey, Streeter, but you see, they talking about Otis Anderson getting in the Hall of Fame. Or
yeah,
should he be inducted?
Otis Anderson, should he be inducted?
I've been preaching for him to be inducted for a couple of years. Like, he came in the lead and was an immediate impact. He got over 9,000 yards rushing, over 50-something touchdowns. Yeah, he should be in the Hall of Fame. It's long overdue for him. I don't know why. What's the
hold up? Time. That's been a long time. Man, you talking
long time, right?
80s?
Yeah, he was 80s, late 70s, early 80s. Yeah, like he came to the Giants and he was immediate 1,500 each year once he got to the lead. It's like he got to be enough.
Right. So all right, X-Man, it's on you, bro. Like I said,
yeah,
we're gonna pin it to the top. We'll pin the membership to the top if you want to become a villain. Y'all make sure y'all keep your situations muted if you got noise going on in your background, man. And this X, you can have it, man. You can run it. I'll be back in here. I'm gonna make a sandwich, dog, and I'll be back in here. X.
Watch the 100 out, deep, boat, rat, nigga, here, free throw, man down, color ever lamps, tell a free bro, Nella nigga, to the cross, he walk around like Tizo. What's up with these recording ass niggas trying to see Compton? They industry can hate, fuck them all in they mama. How many options really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body, I'm John Stockton. Beat your ass in the Bible if God watches. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Certified boogeyman, the one that up to score with him. Walking down the whole time, I know he got some hoe on him. Hold on him.
What's good, man? Everybody, you got some questions tonight. Exclusive questions. I'm going to ask whatever you got. I'm going to answer whatever you got questions to answer. We here, man. We did it a little different tonight. But, it's What's up? What's
How
up?
many
What's up?
more? How many more transfer portal gets do you think we're gonna have in the next? I'll say throughout the summer.
Okay, so at the number we're at right now, we're at 84 total scholarship players. We can possibly go down to 80 and then jump back to 85. So I'm looking at maybe 5 more players, maybe. And that's pushing. But to be honest, looking at maybe a deep defensive end, a safety, that's 2, another corner, maybe that's 3. Yeah, I'll leave it at that 3. And then if you go 5, it'll be like another defensive tackle and an offensive line.
All right. Are we gonna see any recruits start to pop off and start to commit for 25 class during the summer?
Well, so May 31st or May 31st or May 30th, I think that's the official visit weekends when they start. From May to June, the end of June, you will have like a lot of visits. So yeah, the month of June, just keep your eye on or your ears to like a lot of top recruits coming to visit Miami. Yeah, we can start seeing recruits from June to July pop off. All the way to June to August pop off because football season starts for high school players in August. And
Right.
it's a couple recruits saying they want to pop off before high school season starts. So I would say probably from June till maybe early July, like mid July.
Okay. So this class, you think the 25 classes are gonna be a big class, like 25
Yeah,
players,
it's gonna be
or
big. It's gonna be a big class. It could possibly get up to like 27, between 27 to 30 kids. Because we'll lose a lot. We'll lose a lot. Transfer portal, graduation, NFL draft. We'll just lose a lot. So yeah, it could be up to from 27 to 30.
okay. That's
To
what's
touch
up.
on what you said about being at 84 scholarships, and they're adding 10 more in the summer. How many more do you think?
No. The 10 is added to the 84. Don't
So
get
the
the
total.
numbers straight.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, I guess the way everybody else is explaining it, they keep saying, "Oh, well, it's 10 coming this summer," but the 10, I already add them. I don't sugarcoat. I add 10 with the current roster, so those guys will be here in the summer, but they already added to the roster, which makes it 84.
Gotcha. Do you know when the first summer session is?
The first summer session is supposed to be in late May. I don't know the exact date, but I know it's like late May will be summer A. And then summer B is usually in mid-June. So I don't know the exact dates. I will reach out to see the exact dates, but I know from what I was told, most of the 10, not most, all of the 10 will be for summer A. I haven't been told about the transfer guys who just recently committed. Will they be summer A? I'm not sure just yet.
And just for clarification on the transfers, they have to be they really don't count unless they're enrolled. Is that correct? With the summer session?
Okay, you say they don't count unless they're enrolled.
Meaning like it's not like they're signing a letter of intent as a transfer. What binds it?
They have to count because they have to enroll by summer. They got to enroll in summer A. Because some of the schools are releasing their scholarships, meaning the other schools are taking guys and need those scholarships for themselves. So they would have to release. So in order for those guys to be eligible, they would have to be on scholarship somewhere. So it counts regardless. Like soon as summer 8 starts, most of the guys will be on their scholarships at the new schools that they're already at, or the new schools that they're will be playing for fall for.
Gotcha.
Any surprise transfer?
Surprise transfers from us or from
us?
No, I mean surprises pretty much happened already. I'm not hearing anything else from our guys. You know, everybody else who we think will leave. I mean, it's pretty much obvious. Yeah, no surprises from what I've been told. Nothing that I've heard yet. So, and I just got a text that the high school 10 high school kids, they will be on campus May 20th. So summer 8 starts around that time.
When the boys run the 40?
You say what the boys run? Who running what 40?
When do they run the 40? Don't they all the time? In the summer?
Yeah. They normally time. I'm not sure exactly the date, but their time. They get in, they'll work summer practices and stuff like that. Which is great. You know, I'm not gonna say it's crazy because I think last year was Mario didn't officially do the 40 time with the players. Mm. So I'm not sure exactly if it will happen this year. But you know, they always like to have like who the fastest man on the team type of drills and stuff like that. So
you know what Carmoni going?
Nah, man, I've been reaching out to a couple of schools and stuff and asking about him. Some schools, they say, yeah, they like the talent level, but then the off-field stuff is just an issue. I'm like, it's not so much of an off-field, but, you know, it is what it is. He's going to find a spot. I think, you know, within the state of Florida, a lot of the kids are, you know, they're not going to go to one of the major 3 schools, which is Florida State, Miami. You know, Central Florida is the next option. Coach Van Dyke is at South Florida, which is probably the best option for him because that's the guy who eventually recruited him in high school. You know, so I could see it's a situation where he goes there to South Florida, probably plays for a year and then transfer to another school just to show that he can play without any noise on the outside of what he does on the field.
Yeah. How you feel about Sam Brown? What do you think he stack up in the lineup?
I like Sam Brown. I like him a lot, man. But the issue with me is I'm looking at our wide receiver room and I'm like, okay, well, who does he plays in front of? You know, it's like I think everybody keep throwing Isaiah Horton name in there. They throwing Jacoby George's name. And I'm like, well, I don't think he plays in front of neither player. I think he's probably the first guy off the bench in our rotation. And even that, I'm looking like, yeah. Because I'm like, see JoJo coming. Chance will be here. And I think that's the name that everybody keeps forgetting, Chance Robinson. I think he's going to come in and push for immediate playing time because that's just the type of player he is. So it's a good situation to have. You just got to have players who are ready to play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not with this who's going to start. who's going to be on the bench. I want players who are ready to play. When they get on the field, they got to be ready to play at any time, in any given time. You know what I'm saying? If you start, you might not be in the game at the end of the game. You know what I'm saying? That's what we really need to focus on is who's going to be in the game. And if it's a close game and we need to play me, you know what I'm saying? That's what we'll talk about more so if, who started the game? It doesn't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't mean nothing anymore unless you're talking about offensive lineman or quarterback who's going to most likely play every play of the offensive game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like running back, receiver, tight end. Who's going to be in the game when we need to play in the fourth quarter? So,
Chance Robinson got a number yet?
no, he I don't think he has a number just yet. Yeah, he have to get on campus first to get his number.
Do you think Russell and Scott will bring coming in?
Okay, so say the two names again. You said Russell and Scott.
Yeah, Russell and Scott.
Well, Russell. I think Russell will most likely redshirt. I think Scott and Octavius Jones will have more opportunity to play because they're bigger bodies. Scott definitely he's going to play. He's not going to be on the bench most of the time. So, Russell he will be pushing at defensive end this year. You know what I'm saying? Until he gets his body ready for like inside the interior side.
What you think about Blunt? Blunt go red shirt and he gonna see the field next year, or he may see it towards the end.
Well, no, Blunt doesn't want the red shirt. Blunt wants to play. The staff feels they excited about Blunt. Yeah, I'm not sure. You know, it depends. You know, because we have defensive ends that they bought in from the portal that they want to play. Then you got guys returning also. So it all depends on situation with Blunt. I think he'll play some games, you know what I'm saying? Some games he won't play, stuff like that. Now, if he shows that he on Ruben Bang level, then yeah, he's playing. He's going to play no matter what. But yeah, that's big shoes to fill because Ruben Bang ain't ready playing. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay, mentioning Ruben Bain, do you think that he take a level up this year, or you might see a little decrease? Even though we know he's a hard worker off the field and on the field.
No. He's going to level up. He's going to level up because, for one, he's just that type of individual that's going to always outwork everybody. For two, the type of players that Mario has brought in is going to help where he doesn't have to be double teamed all the time. You know what I'm saying? I think at the end of the season, teams figure, well, let's double team Bane and just let everybody else try, which it wasn't going to be much done. This year, the start of the season, if they use that same strategy, then the guys who aren't getting double team or getting focused on are going to be players making plays. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, he's going to level up. The only way he don't level up is they just double team and have a running back chipping every time he lines up.
Do you think Scott will have the same kind of impact?
You say, do I think you talk about Justin Scott?
Yeah, or maybe not so much the same kind of impact, but something similar.
He's gonna have an impact, so he's gonna play. He's good. He's just good. But at the same time, I have to see him in practice. You know, I could give you his projections and stuff like that, but you know, it's different when you actually get on the field. And does he has that motor where he can play every play or stuff like that? So potential wise, yeah, I think he gets on the field and he makes an immediate impact. But I still want to see it first before I say, oh yeah, he's going to be that guy.
What rotation do you see what rotation do you see us going with the D line? Well, the defensive line. Like how many players like rotating on the line?
Well, I think we'll rotate. If it's an 8-man defensive lineman, then you rotate. You know what I'm saying? You have the first unit, you have the second unit. And then once you take out those 8 guys, you start to bring in the edge guys, the jack guys, such as Malik Bryant, Chase Smith, Bobby Washington. I'm not gonna say Marcus Lightfoot because I think they want him with his hands in the dirt mostly. Booker Pickett will definitely be like a jack guy also to start off. So yeah, you'll have the 8-man rotation, and then you'll have like 3 or 4 guys who will be rotating with the edge and the jack position.
How you feel about the secondary?
I think after we get these, once we get our last 2 additions, then I feel very confident that our secondary is pretty decent to good.
Is they playing power at the safety, or he's staying at the that star position?
Well, the thing is, they want Power to be at the safety. They want to bring in somebody to be the money position.
Yeah, the money.
It's King Mac. He's a guy they focusing on. He could come in and be that money position where they could just let Power be the safety. In place for Savion Riley, because he wasn't the guy that we thought once we got him. That was a Coach Adai addition, and Coach Adai isn't here, so things didn't work out. It just didn't work out for him. So
You see Chase playing a lot this year?
Well, okay, so with the linebacker unit, they definitely played 4 linebackers a lot last season. I think it could be more. I know Wesley and Kiko is going to be 1 and 2 the starters. Popo, Bobby, Chase, Darius.
Don't forget about the dude from Louisville.
Say what?
The dude they just got from Louisville.
Yeah. I keep forgetting. Listen, when we get a linebacker from Louisville, I kind of downplay it because I'm like, they linebacker play is bad, but they high on Alderman. So Alderman definitely will be in that 2 deep rotation at linebacker. Chase is another one, as I said, can be the jack guy when he just stands up and just attacks the quarterback, or he just drops in coverage and stuff like that sometimes.
Why you think Pullum leave? I thought he was gonna play. He was gonna get a little burn this year. Why you think he left?
You say Marcellus Pullum?
Yeah.
Okay, so with him, the staff was high on him, but when Cameron Pruitt came in so ready to play. He kind of just outplayed Pulliam in the spring. And then Chase came back and outplayed him also. So we're like, hey, well, yeah, it's going to be kind of tricky. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't expect a true freshman to come in and just outplay Pulliam. And then we didn't expect Chase. But when both of those guys did outplay, it was like, well, hey, yeah, maybe, you know what I'm saying? And it's a better situation because you're probably not going to play the shit for you. So,
yeah. Jaden Harris starting this year. Marquise Williams starting. Who's starting this year?
Who?
Jaden Harris.
I'm not high on Jaden Harris. I do prefer Marquise Williams over Jaden Harris. I just think Marquise Williams will make more plays. Obviously, I know he's not 200 15 pounds or whatever safety. He does need to get his weight up. He does struggle with tackling, but he does make plays as far as the passing game. He's always like around the ball.
Yeah, he always yeah.
Say it again.
No, I was just agreeing with you saying, yeah, he always near the football.
Yeah, it's just a tackling issue with him. But at the end of the day, if we have to rely on him making tackles all the time, then yeah, we probably not a good defense.
We got a problem, and I think that shouldn't be held against him. Then it's like we need a ball hawk. We need some speed out there. Somebody that's gonna at least be near the damn ball. We got everybody else to do that. Everybody ain't gonna be elite at everything. So if he's struggling with tackling, I don't see that. At least get his hands on him and slow him down a little bit. That's what the team.
Look, I totally agree. I feel like if it's him, he should be around the ball trying to make plays deep. And we got linebackers and defensive linemen that should be making the tackles. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm not relying on him to make all the tackles. You know, he can come up and make tackles, but if we got to rely on him making tackles to have our defense good, then yeah, it's not gonna be good.
You're right.
I believe he could tackle good. It's just he's small. He's just little.
Yeah, that's it. He been running into guys who are bigger than him. And you know what happens? They drag him and break the tackle. So like I say again, like if he's coming up to make a tackle, hopefully it's a game tackle where him and two other players made the tackle. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm happy. But if it's just strictly relying on him or any safety, then it's like, damn, why we always gotta have our safeties leading the team? You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be that way. But
and that's what people fail to realize. That's really his only knock. People always just saying he light in the ass, but that ain't got to be his job. It ain't got to be his job for him to go out there and make 60 tackles.
Yeah, he go out there and make 8 interceptions. Ain't nobody gonna care about him.
Ain't gonna give a damn.
Ain't gonna give a
damn how many times he got ran over. He got 8 picks. That's all. That's gonna carry a lot of weight.
A lot of weight. You know what I'm saying? So, again, like I say, I just think between him and Jaden Harris, I want him, Markeith Williams, back there. I just not seen enough from Jaden Harris to say he's ready to be our next safety. He's athletically there physically, but he's just not it on the field.
Yo, X, I'm gonna ask the same question that Streeter asked earlier in the group me. If Cam Ward goes crazy and throws for like 40 plus touchdowns and is like a Heisman contender, and we only win 8 games, but the offense looked completely different than what it was the past couple of years, is that a successful season, or is that a failed season?
It's a failed season. It's a failed season. Anything under 10 is a failed season. And I'm gonna say this because I think what Mario has required talent-wise, it's a failed season. Looking at our schedule, it's nobody on our schedule, and I repeat this: nobody on our schedule it has better talent than us, and that's including the team in Leon County, Louisville. Nobody has a more talented roster than us. I think Cam Ward is going to do good regardless. He's going to do good regardless.
So X, wait a minute. The question really was,
just rock the damn truck.
If Mario allows Cam Ward and the OC to do what their thing, and we see growth in Mario as a coach. Like now he's a CEO, he's backing off. He allows them to do that, and they have a successful season. the offense does. We average 40 points, but still only win 8 games. That was the question. How are you looking at the future of the program? Are you still high on Mario? Do
The
you
hell is
see
that? 9-10?
growth in them? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. I don't know what
how
the
is
fuck
how
that is anyway. Let's
how?
find out what the hell that shit is.
Let me kick the dude out of here first. Wait, out here. All right. Yeah. How are you looking at Mario and the program going forward? That's what the question was.
Okay, so yeah, again, I think if Mario, I'm yeah. So let me switch it up. If Mario allows the offense and he allows Coach Dawson to do exactly what Coach Dawson wants to do, and the offense is very successful, I think Miami has a successful season. You just can't have an offense that's not, they putting up 40 points a game. That's a successful season. They're going to win games. I don't think we damn near could have won 10 games last year. We didn't put up 40 points per game last year. We just had a quarterback who just was turning the ball over. So yeah. Now if we don't win 10 games, I think it's a failed season because Mario he's winning, got and did everything he wanted to do. He has both coordinators coming back for the first time. He went and got the best quarterback in the portal. He's got a top running back in the portal, one of the best. Another top receiver, defensive tackles, D lineman. He's done everything that he needed to do to upgrade the roster for a win now situation. So if he's going to allow Dawson to do what Dawson wants to do, and offensively, we was ranked 20, like top 30 last year offensively, statistically, outside of scoring touchdowns. So it's like, yeah, shit. If we thinking Dawson can be better than what he was last year, yes, it's a successful season. It's a 10+ win season.
No, I said, and we only win 8 games. That's
what I'm saying. Like, if it's 8 games, it's a failed season because something goes wrong. And if the offense is scoring 40 points, that means the defense is sorry if we losing games. And I'm asking you this, Peter: who do you trust more as a coordinator, Dawson or Gilgy? As of now, from what you've seen last year,
I trust Giltry, but with add Cam Ward to Dawson, and I think we're equal.
So you think by adding Cam Ward, you equal Gilgy? You equal Dawson to what Gilgy has done last season?
I think you add Cam Ward to Dawson, right? And I think quarterbacks make coaches look like geniuses all the time because they have the ball in their hand every play. So I think when you add Cam Ward to Dawson, yeah, now we're equal with Giltry's because we saw some chinks in Giltry armor at the end of the season, whether it was depth or whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? And I love Giltry. I'm not worried about the defense because I think we got our guy when it comes to defense. But you add Cam Ward to Dawson, yeah, I think we kind of equal.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just not seeing a situation where it's an 8 game or less season unless everything just goes wrong. Like, we won 7 last year, so I'm looking at the number to be up to 10 or more. Because I trust Gilgy fully. I trust Gilgy fully. And then, like you just said, you add Cam to Dawson's offense, and it's like you add maybe you add 3 more wins from last season because you got Cam Ward.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to call our timeouts. I mean, we got to take our knees. Yeah. And we should be straight.
That's just something, I guess. He has to figure that out. Him and his boys on the sideline, like his two guys who yelling at him, they got to tell him like, hey, motherfucker, take the time out or take the knee. Like, goddamn.
So based on that comment, what would you say is the biggest thing you want to see from Mario and the staff year over year, from year 2 to year 3?
Well, from Mario's
obviously the
standpoint,
win
I
total.
want Mario to allow his coaches to coach. Just be the CEO. Call the timeouts, yell at the refs, get the players motivated for the game. The only position I want Mario to focus on is offensive line. Him and his boy Mirabong, y'all focus on that. Everything else, Mario, just let the coaches coach. That's what you hired them for. That's what they get paid for.
Do you think that wasn't there from year 1 to year 2?
Yeah, it wasn't there. I think he was focused on trying to coach every position, have his hand in every position, back channeling coaches. You know what I'm saying? Some coaches coaching the way that they're coaching, then, you know, Mario saying, well, hey, we going to kind of do it this way. And it's like, it's hard to coach when, you know, when you hire me to coach, but then you have a coach saying, well, listen, it's got to be done this way. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see a lot of the coaches say, man, and not just at Miami, a lot of the coaches just say, man, I got to get out of college football. I got to go to the NFL because it's too much going on in college football. It's too much entitlement with players, coaches. You know, these coaches getting paid a whole lot of money, the head coaches, and then it's like, you know, if they gonna get anything wrong, they gonna figure it out by themselves, you know. So Mario just needs to focus on building the team, which is what he's doing. Coach the offensive line, and I guess piss off the media people like us, you know what I'm saying, and let the coaches coach. That's what he needs to do.
Hey, X, can I play devil's advocate a little bit on that?
Go ahead.
And I'm thinking about, I'm going back to Bama, you know, because Nick Saban had a culture, he had a way, he had an identity or a way that he had it look, and he had, you know, like I said, I saw friction with him and Lane Kiffin on the sideline. And can it be just a situation where an assistant coach already knows kind of when he is hired at that place, like he knows that I like to run the ball as a head coach. Like, this is what I like. This is my identity that I would like to see. Now, if you want to throw some passes, some trick plays, but mainly 60% run, 40% pass. But if you're gonna pass that ball, make it look clean. Can it be that kind of situation? I understand the entitlement of the kids, and NIL has made it hard to be a college coach. But I'm speaking of just that whole scenario.
Well, so let me give y'all an example. And I'm gonna go to Nick Saban before he even got to Bama. When Nick Saban was at LSU, Nick Saban had Jimbo. Jimbo was the offensive coordinator. He allowed Jimbo to do what Jimbo wanted to do. Jimbo was throwing that ball at LSU. You know what I'm saying? He ran the ball also, but he allowed Jimbo to throw the ball. I think it gets to a situation where when the coach he trusts the guy to just say, hey, I'm going to trust you with my job on the line. You know what I'm saying? So Nick Saban trusted Jimbo there. The situation when Nick was fussing at Lane Kiffin, he was like, well, Lane, you know, you got fired from a couple of spots. Great offensive coordinator, but I'm not going to trust you with my job because I'm getting paid a whole lot of money and these people trust me. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, run the damn ball. Stuff like that. It's different. It's different aspects of the football. I'm not sure if Mario trusts Dawson that much to just say, Dawson, hey, I trust you with my job, so I'm gonna let you do what you do. I know he trusts Gilgy. He definitely trusts Gilgy with his job. You know, I just don't think he trusted Dawson with his job to say, hey, go out there and call whatever you want to call. And it's gonna work.
So why hire the guy then? That just, I'm listening to you say that, and that just baffles me.
Well, I don't think. Okay, so again, it's not a bad hire because it's like just imagine if Mario hired anybody else, he's probably the same way. You know what I'm saying? He wants it done his way.
Look at it like it's almost like if you date a woman and you want to marry her, well, you probably gonna have to trust her a little bit, and to say, oh yeah, you know, I want to marry you and spend the rest of my life with you, but you know what, I really don't trust you that much. That's
I mean,
that's how I kind of look at it.
I agree. But you know, if you know Mario, one thing Mario wants the Miami Hurricanes to be is big, fast, and physical. If you're all three of those, then you're able to run that football. So Mario's trust levels is, I'm going to build this offensive line. I'm going to get me some big, fast, and physical running backs. We're going to do that. You know what I'm saying? So we'll get us a quarterback who can throw the ball. We'll get us some receivers who can run routes. But we're going to run that ball. And that's his trust levels. Now he goes and get Cam Ward, and then brings one of the better wide receiver units in the nation. I think he's opening up a lot. He's saying, okay, well, maybe I could open up my trust levels and trust Cam or the offensive coordinator to throw the football.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard when you're looking at it like, I've had a quarterback 2 years, and the trust level, I tried to give them the trust level, and it backfired. He's turning the ball over. He lacks confidence. He does nothing to help us win games. It's like, yeah, should I open my trust levels to the next quarterback? You know what I'm saying? But he has with Cam Ward, which I keep telling people, I think I'm not going to say the passing is going to be 70, 75%. I don't know if it's even 60-40, but I do know one thing. We're going to throw the ball a lot. You know what I'm saying? So all that thinking Cam is going to turn around and hike and give it to the running back, it's not going to be like that. We're going to throw that ball. He brought Cam Ward here to throw the football.
Somebody in the comment section asks why we so high on Ryan Mack.
They asking why we so high on Ryan Mack.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh, okay. King, I was about to say shit. I mean, I got 100 reasons why we high on Ryan Mack. King Mack, shit. I mean, King Mack comes from that same coaching tree right there. He's a more physical, faster. What was damn, I don't know. It's crazy how I forget his name all the time. What was the safety we had, number 4 from down south? He just played for Diaz. He was getting interceptions. He played on that good defense that year. When we went 10-0. What's his name?
Jaquan Johnson.
Jaquan Johnson. He's a more physical, faster Jaquan Johnson. That's why we hire on him, because he's fast. Like, if he's a track guy, he ran track at St. Thomas. Yeah, he's like that. Alabama want him bad, and from what I was told, they want him really, really, really bad. So yeah, for us to even be in a situation where we could pull him back to Miami, I'm grateful, because he's good. He's going to be a good player.
Hey, Alex, you can hear me? Alex, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear.
Oh, are they trying to pull him to a place like for losing downs, or
you say they trying to pull him in a place to who?
replace? They had Caleb Downs, right?
Yeah. They trying to replace Caleb Downs. They definitely trying to replace Caleb Downs. And for Miami's situation is they want Matt to come in and be Okay, so you see in the spring how we have Power playing the money strictly. They want Matt to come in to play the money and push Power back to just playing safety.
What do you think is a better option for his skill set?
I kind of agree with the money because he could play money. He could guard the slot. He's fast. Like what I mean, fast. He's fast. He's a track guy. Watching spring, I just didn't see the fact that we had safeties a lot. So I would rather Power play safety and let Matt, you know what I'm saying, be that money guy where he's guarding the slot a lot more. Or even if he's not in the money, then he could come in and be a safety for us. So I'm happy if he does choose Miami, he's going to play a money a lot and let Power play the free. I'm happy. Or even Power plays it strong because Power does cover good. You need safeties who can cover. I mean, all of the days of safety just being hitters and killers, that's over. If you can't cover, you can't be on the football field.
So who do you think? I got my estimation of who I think exits if we do pick him up. Well, who do you think is probably on the chopping block if Matt comes in?
I mean, so Brian Ballum, my guy, you know what I'm saying? I love him. I think, well, I'm not gonna say I think, I know he's one of the guys who's going to be on the exit list. And that's about it because we don't really have safety depth out there. You know what I'm saying? We have Markeith, you got Jaden, you got Powell, you got Zaquan, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, I definitely think Brian Ballum,
That's
he
who I
has
had on the
that.
chopping block too. I didn't want to say it out loud though. But, I think the cards are pretty much on the table. I don't think anybody has seen him in like.
Say it again.
I don't think anybody's seen him in like two seasons. Like I didn't hear him.
Yeah, he didn't
hear
do
him.
nothing or much for us last year. And he was a backup. He didn't really do anything at all. The one name that keep always coming up in my head is the guy who I thought Miami shouldn't have recruited. But there was a guy was Isaiah Thomas. Coming off 2 major knee surgeries, I just don't think he's ever going to play for Miami. I'm not sure why he took him, but
what do you mean? Because the ACC recruited the years on staff. What do you mean?
I mean, okay. I mean, listen, Adai's gone, man. So the guys that Adai wanted, they probably pretty much ain't going to be here next year. So
Politics, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, politics. I know Ryan Mack could come in and play.
Hey, who you talking about?
The staff is high on Dalen D.
You talking about?
What you say,
You
straight?
talking about Jason Taylor's on?
yeah.
No, not Jason Taylor. So I'm talking about Isaiah Thomas, the recruit, not
Isaiah
the
Thomas.
transfer.
That's what Manny think you talking
My
about. I
fault.
think. Yeah.
Oh no, not Taylor. Thomas, the guy that
Did he even play
forgot about
last year in high school?
Isaiah Thomas?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from
Like
Canada, but he played down here in Florida.
Yeah.
But I mean, he did play. He got hurt twice. I just don't think he's going to play for Miami.
There was a couple of DBs
two major knee surgeries.
Yeah.
Yeah, matey, I didn't want to say that. Say that.
Nah, I hear
Hey, listen, keep Taylor on the team. If it means we got to keep his dad as a coach, keep him.
Facts. And then when he's done, make him a grad assistant. I don't care as long as Jason stays here.
Give him a job. Give him a job.
Yeah, I'm on that same Duke Johnson shit. As long as Pop stay here, I don't give a damn.
Yeah, give him a job. Shoot, team still was trying to get Jason Taylor, like even after spring practice and stuff like that. But JT, man, he's sticking it out with us, man. So that's a good thing with him.
Any other positions you see the staff trying to pursue? Or you think after safety and DM we pretty much set?
They would love to add another D tackle, if possible. But looking at the names out there, I think CJ West, that was the other guy who was looking at. I think he committed today or he committed yesterday, one of those. So, not sure if we looking at any other D tackles. Definitely still looking at the defensive end, Tyler Barron. Most likely going to end up committing to Miami. Who else? And then secondary, two guys, a safety and a corner, and that's pretty much it.
Okay. I would definitely agree with your stance on what we have right now. I would be very hard pressed to not see this team win double digits.
You said you'll be hard pressed if we did what?
If we didn't win 10 games, I would
Listen, I keep telling people, I'm ready to say, look, if we don't win 10 games, then I think they gotta start putting the major pressure on Mario because they giving him everything he needs for this year. You just don't create this roster to go along with the schedule and say you don't win 10 games.
I would go as far as saying it was 10 games and we just had Cam Ward. Now that you've added a running back, a D tackle, we may add a DN from the SEC that had 6 sacks. And I hate to say this, but like anything less than 11 wins with what you just added in the last 4 weeks, and in my opinion, I think is unacceptable when you look at the money that they've invested from a recruiting standpoint the last 2 years and in the portal and NIL to say that we can't win 11 games with the schedule that we have.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
7 to 11.
Well, I'm just again, I felt like before I felt like coming out of the winter portal, adding Cam, I felt like 10 wins was the minimum that need to happen. Now that you in the last 4 weeks, you've added the running back, you've added a D tackle, position of need. You possibly can add another DN. You've added a receiver. You've added a linebacker. When you add up all of that with the addition of a number 7 class, a number 5 class, to say that we can't win 11 games with the schedule that we play, to me, that would be unacceptable. And 11 games and in the ACC championship game. It's not like when you look at the other teams and what they've added in the portal and what they already have coming back, like I think X, you said it, like it's not that many teams that match up with us talent-wise.
It's not. It's definitely not. It's as far as the ACC, it's definitely not.
I'm just talking about just in the ACC. Well,
it's definitely not. Again, just looking at the talent from the top to the bottom. Clemson, Florida State, Miami. I think Miami has more talent than both Clemson and FSU. I don't think talent-wise, any team in the SEC matches up with us. I think it comes to the coaching, the continuity, stuff like that. Because if it just goes from Mario building the talent, then shit, we won't lose a game.
And I get it's hard, the last 20 years, we go in the off season and we think we're going to be back and we're going to do this. And, we've been getting disappointed for 20 plus years. It's hard to say, okay, well, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to drink all the Kool-Aid and say, we should go 11-1 regular season ACC champs. But when you put it on paper and you add up everything that's been invested and you look at who we're playing, Yeah, 11 games should be the minimum. To me.
I'm not gonna put a record amount, but I do think the ACC should be attainable, more attainable than it's been in years past.
Yeah.
I think there were some years where I think we could have easily won it because I just saw a lot of those teams down. Like when Florida State was an under 500 team for 4 years in a row, like that should have easily been. And the fact that they've kind of rose so quickly back to having undefeated seasons, yeah, I think that the ACC at a minimum should be attainable. Second place, and you're more than likely in the Power Four. You're more than likely with 10 wins. You're probably in the playoff. You're probably a fringe 11, 12 team. I mean, that means you got a first round that's probably going to be against a SEC or a Big Ten strong opponent. But if you do that with that talent, you stay healthy throughout the season. Because that's the two things we never talk about: health and the fact that other teams they got people too. I ain't necessarily saying that they better than ours, but they got people too who want Miami to prove it. So I mean, I just think winning the ACC is the first thing. We've been in this conference with, this is our 20th anniversary in this conference with 0 conference titles. That's an issue. So as long as we can win the conference, let's just start there before we start making any more lofty expectations. That's just my personal opinion, though.
No, and to add on to your point, Maddie, that is hard to do. Like 20th anniversary, bro. Like that, what you just said, that's actually hard to do.
It's very difficult.
We accomplished something that was like, if we would have looked at it 20 years ago, nobody would have took that bet.
I think the closest we got is what, a coastal and a shared division title.
2017 was the 10-win season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
would agree. That's hard to do, especially when you look at, every now and then a team out of nowhere will win it. Not named Miami.
Right.
Yeah, like a Duke, a Pitt.
That's
like,
why I know.
Pitt.
That's why I know it's not going to take a lot to turn it around. See, I think y'all been shell shocked for so long, but the incompetence of how they was running the program, bro, is how we were doing it. We were recruiting and shooting ourselves in the foot in the back office, and hiring anybody to run the program, and guys who wasn't qualified or not ready yet. Let's say that. That's why I know it's not going to take a rocket scientist to turn it around. It's almost, if you think about it, bro, it almost seems as if it was intentionally done. If you really think about it, like the last 20 years, like you live in a hotbed in South Florida of football, and then you go hire a coach who nobody probably hires a head coach, also, or anybody on our level wouldn't hire. Like you hire a Diaz or you hire Al Golden. Like nobody on our level would have hired those guys at that time. You see what I'm saying? It's the time. Randy Shannon. Nobody would hire Randy Shannon to be their head coach at that time, even though we loved him. It's almost as if it was done on purpose, or somebody in the program was saying, we don't care about football.
Wow, I've never even looked at it like that, those hires. I mean,
Think about it, man.
Just looking at Florida State.
Temple's coach. Why are we fighting to get Temple's coach?
Yeah.
Right.
Twice.
I think the most part of that was we were so contempt into saying, well, we've done enough with less. We didn't have to pay coaches the money. We always recruited because we're in Miami. So let's just hire somebody who could just run the team.
I agree.
And they'll get the job done. We didn't think about the rest of the nation actually spending money in their football program. We just said, fuck that. We're not finna spend no money with this football shit. Fuck them niggas. We won 5 titles on some bullshit. Let's keep winning games on bullshit. We don't gotta spend money. That's we were just saying we gonna be content.
Right. So in the comments,
it took us 20 years. I mean, I'm not even gonna say 20 years. It took us so long to say that shit ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? I remember Streeter when we was what game that was? We was in this one Diaz was the coach, and we was winning the game, or so I think it was winning or we was losing, and we was driving, and Diaz could have went in and scored a touchdown, but he settled for a field goal, and everybody was immediately upset. They were like, "Well, what the fuck was Diaz thinking?"
Is that the
And
4th
at
and
that
14
moment,
game?
everybody was like, "Yeah, we finna change this shit."
Is that the 4th and 14
That
game?
might have been that Virginia game.
Virginia game. It was the Virginia game. I think it was the Virginia game.
Yeah.
And then after that, that's when, me and Streeter came out and we were like, well, hey, things are about to change. Miami is trying to start putting some money in football. We kept hitting that Diaz was gonna get fired and stuff like that. And that was it. Like, it took us to that game to say, yeah, man, we got
That was bad.
Remember,
That was bad. It
we-
sunk the life out the stadium,
next
dude.
week he did it the opposite way, and I think the ball got blocked. Remember, the next week he actually kicked the field goal, right, or went for it or something.
Yeah.
Next game.
It's like it took us up into that game, that Virginia game, for the people around the program involved with money to say, hey, we got to spend money because this is not how football supposed to be in Miami.
No, I mean, listen,
And
You know what I'm saying?
I would argue.
Go ahead, man.
I would argue that's when they decide. I think that coupled with the old Flake James going on that national smear campaign of Manny Diaz and basically hearing rumblings he was just going to hire Rhett Lashley anyway. I think that's what kind of like really like dropped it. And then obviously the ESPN thing that we forgot about, like the ESPN came out and said it and it became national media. I think that's what really was like, wait a second. We playing on a different field than the rest of these people. And I think that's when it, like, that's why I always say, man, I got a shirt in my closet right now that it says thank you, Herb Street, because I think if he didn't put it into perspective for what's his name, the dean or the president or whatever you call him, to like, hey,
Frank, Dr. Frank.
Yeah, Dr. Frank. If they ain't put it in perspective for him to really sit there and say like, hey, the rest of these people aren't playing it fair. Like, you got to elevate your game. I don't think it ever would have changed.
Do you think if we beat Florida State that year that they still fire him?
Yeah, Diaz was getting fired regardless.
Yeah,
that was going to happen.
Yeah, he had entered. There was I think it was like either North Carolina State game where he had entered like dead man walking. Like, he was just
Status.
Yeah, he was coaching to survive it. I can forget what game it was, but the 4th and 14 was the nail in the coffin. It was like, they might leave him on the tarmac tonight. Like, he might have to walk from Tallahassee tonight.
Yeah, he was going to get fired. The only reason he didn't get fired during the season is because he started bringing his dad to the game.
Yeah,
and they just wasn't going to fire a politician's son during the game.
We had him fired. Remember, we had him fired. We had the fire video ready, and I was at the Heat game one night and posted it by mistake. And everybody was like,
yeah.
He said Diaz was fired.
Yeah.
At what part in the season was the Herb Street piece?
Check this out. The Herb Street piece, right?
We
used to talk to Herb Street every. I used to get to talk to Herb Street once a year, every year. I got a few videos on YouTube, right? Before Herb Street said that, we were saying it. That's when we started saying it. And I was frustrated, and when I realized that the problem was the administration and that they wasn't going to get it right. Remember, I was saying keep Diaz. I was like, man, just keep Manny, man, because they're not going to hire the right person. Remember that? And y'all thought I was crazy.
Yeah. You kept saying like, man, look, keep Diaz. They're not going to spend money on the
right
coach.
Before Herb Street said it on ESPN. I was losing it, dog. I was like, nah, man, just keep Manny because they're not going to hire the right person. They're not trying to win. Now, and people thought I was crazy, but that's when I saw my eyes was open and I saw what was going on. And I was frustrated, dog. I was really frustrated because we telling these kids to go to Miami, you know what I'm saying? And Miami is hiring rookie head coaches, and the head coaches are hiring rookie coordinators because they can't get anybody to work under them. Now, Miami, the U says 18 years and no championship, but people want Mario to erase it in 14 months. But here's the thing, Miami, to you, and shout out to you for saying that comment. You can. Mark Richt walks out of Georgia. Kirby walks in there, and what happens? Because the stage is already set. We just had the wrong people running it, dog. We've been more talented than the whole ACC. I proved that when I asked Manny the question before he got fired. We've had more talent than everybody we were playing against. We just needed somebody to come in here and run it. And they just kept hiring OJT coaches, like on the job training, like young guys. And I can't say it didn't work. It worked with Jimmy Johnson. It worked with Erickson. Like they was just guys when they walked in here.
Though.
But it stopped working.
Yeah, that's what you do at Wake Forest.
Somebody fell asleep at the wheel. And that's why I said Mario was the greatest coach Miami has ever hired, because Miami was never hiring guys that other schools wanted.
They even had a repertoire.
Right. Dog, none of our head coaches went on to be head coaches anywhere else, dog. Think about that.
Except Manny. Manny broke the cycle.
Right. Manny just broke it, and Coca went to go coach at House of the Blind. But the rest of our coaches never
other than Manny Diaz, nobody has
head coaches anywhere else. Think about that.
Just Coker, but he went to just start up Texas State.
He went to House of the Blind, Sisters of the Poor, whatever the fuck that was, Manny.
Yeah.
Manny,
I think somebody gonna give Al Golden a run though. He running that defense at Notre Dame. Somebody gonna give him another run.
For reference, that rant came after the Michigan State loss, the infamous Kenneth Walker game. One man dove out the way, tackling the running back.
Yeah, that Michigan State game is
that was in September.
But no, bro, he started. But listen, Kirk Herbstreit started repeating exactly what we were saying, bro. And he said it on a bigger stage.
Yeah, he had the bigger stage. He said it. And the people with the money got the front, Dr. Frank, and they heard it, and he was like, Dr. Frank was like he was stuck in the corner because they were like, well, listen, boy, they about to expose you. Do you care about the athletic program in Miami? Do you care about the football team? And he basically had to say, yeah, all right, we gotta make a move because it's on national TV. You know what I'm saying? The Miami brand, which I keep telling people is so huge that even when Miami is bad, Miami is being talked about. But at that point, it was Miami being talked about in a lackluster opportunity. Like, shit, should they even exist at that point? But yeah, right. So
but that was my first
hiring Diaz, hiring Shannon. And when they hired Diaz, I immediately said this is basically going to be the same thing they did when they hired Shannon. It's like they hired a coach who they feel can hush people's mouths up for a little bit because he coached a good defense.
Right. So that's
exactly what it was.
Let me tie this together though. Like in my own mind, and y'all can call me crazy under y'all breath if y'all want to. That's why I believe, bro. That's why I believe that for some reason, whoever at University of Miami, Blake James, whoever was doing the hiring, it almost as if they wasn't trying to push the program to a higher level. Dog, you know how if y'all go look at some of those rosters in 2017, go look at some of those rosters. If me and X was the goddamn coaches, it would have been hard for us to lose with some of those rosters, dog.
And what even further ties it is that a lot of them guys on that roster is still playing on. I think I just saw Sheldrick Redron, he's played with the Cowboys now.
In the league, some of those offenses had six NFL players, maybe. Some of those offenses had 6 guys in the league. Some of the defenses had 5, 6 NFL guys on. And we in dog fights with Louisville. Pittsburgh.
Man, listen. And I'm gonna go back to Shannon. When Shannon got here, Shannon recruited good enough that most of the players he recruited went to the NFL. Al Golden, he recruited good enough that most of the players he recruited went to the NFL. And you just said this, Peter. How the fuck are we struggling against Duke? Like Willis McGahee said, how in the fuck we lose to Duke? This is something that he never ever thought could happen.
Yeah, it's right.
So it's like
it's I'm not gonna say incompetence. I'm not gonna do that to them, but it's leadership. It's inexperience. Like, how do we walk into FIU at FIU and let Butch Davis beat us? Like, it's inexperience. That's an experienced coach, right? Taking some South Florida kids and beating up on the bigger and badder South Florida kids because the other coaches are inexperienced. He took one guy. He took Ed Jones. Ed Jones, Dalvin Cook's brother, and ran all over us, right? And then who do we have on our offense? Could you name some of the names? Jaron Williams was the quarterback. Brevin Jordan. Who do we have? We had everybody.
It wasn't, that loss was so bad though, because it wasn't just. So y'all remember, like, he was like having the kids like fake the injury or something like that to slow down the hurry up offense, and then nobody on Miami like adjusted. It was how we lost that was so bad. And Bush was like laughing at us on the sideline as he was like having his players like fake.
Of course.
Like lay down, take a knee. Yeah.
Yeah, so and then we took their kicker. But okay, so so what I'm saying is that, like, this guy saying that 18 years of us being bad not going to happen, and it can happen overnight, bro, because the stage is the table is already set. We're just waiting for Snellenberger to walk in here, Jimmy Johnson to walk in here to realize, holy shit. like look at here. So
fucking gold, man.
Yeah.
So this is one thing I always like to say, because everybody always say, they're like, if we would have got Coach Lane Kiffin, or you got so when you start saying you get other coaches, okay, yes, I agree. You get coaches who specialize in offense. That's good. The one thing that Mario specializes in is building an entire team. You know what I'm saying? So his whole thing is he just has to allow the coaches to coach. But he's doing exactly what Howard did. He's doing exactly what Jimmy Johnson did. He's doing what Butch Davis did. I'm not gonna say he's doing what Dennis Erickson, because Dennis Erickson was strictly offensive minded. But he's doing what those coaches did. He's building the team. Now he just has to make sure that he allows his coaches to coach, because if the coaches are as good as we think they could be, these teams could be good.
This is such a make or break season for Mario, as far as I hate to say it, like almost like the most important year of his career, because it's just everything has been set up for this year to be successful. And successful doesn't necessarily have to be a national championship. Successful is winning the freaking ACC championship, like kind of like we've been talking about. But if he doesn't do it, man, gonna be a tough off season.
I agree, and I only say that because you can accelerate things so much quicker. And I've said this, and I continue to stand on this, and I will die on this hill. If we just pick Manny, or if we pick Mario up in the time that we wasted on Manny, this chat room will be in a whole different ending. We be talking about are we winning our third straight or second straight possible ACC championship? Are we getting to the playoff? Like, it would be a different tone. I think we wasted a lot of time with Manny Diaz. And kind of like, what Street was saying, like giving a bunch of guys opportunities. Now, for the record, I do believe Randy Shannon should have got an opportunity because he had time on a coaching staff where he can learn he can kind of figure it out because he was with a successful coaching staff. But when we got guys who, like Manny, you look at his track record and he's never really had sustainable success anywhere as a DC. He had like little stints and spurts at certain places. I didn't think handing the keys to a Ferrari when he just got his learner's permit was the best decision. And so I think we set the program back a couple years, just letting him be here. He has some positives. Like don't get me wrong, like that 52-10 win with De'Aaron King was great, but I don't I don't think he should have been here. But now that Mario is here, yeah, and we're transitioning to year 3, every coach you start seeing, I think the exception of Jim Harbaugh.
Oh, can I get a double stack with cheese only?
Man,
Yes,
Bro, what the fuck?
a 6-piece nugget.
Hey, give me some sugar cookies, dog. I want the sugar cookie, 3 on.
Oh shit!
yeah, I
Who
had
that
a man
is? Who
throwing
that
the
is,
gulag
Betty?
real quick. It was Merc City, but nah,
Hell
that man
no.
ordering the whole meal. It's crazy.
He said, "Can I get
Basically,
a
what you trying to
double?"
say is Mario about to eat this year. No, I'm just kidding. But nah, nah, I think, yeah, he has to take the time to get this team on the same page, starting with summer workouts. Any egos, any people with their feelings hurt because they brought in somebody else, understand like the goal got to be to win games. Period. I ain't even saying it got to be decisively, but you better figure out how to get that team on the same page and fast. And then once that happens, yeah, keeping them focused and healthy throughout the rest of the season. And the ACC championship should be like the bottom tier milestone for where this team could go. But Mark still order. I got he muted, so he should be good.
Yeah, man. So again, I think I'm looking at the Canes to have a successful season, 10 plus wins. Just my observation of what Mario did during the spring. He was allowing his coaches to coach. I think that was the biggest obstacle with him. Being involved in everything, which a head coach, you have to be involved in everything, but you also have to allow the coaches to coach. Allow you bring in a top cam or you don't bring him in to hand the ball off. He's going to throw the ball. You bringing in more defensive players, offensive players, and it's like you getting everything you need. You won 7 games last year with the quarterback who just didn't give a fuck. So it's like you have everything to win 10 plus. Get to the ACC championship. Again, it's the 2 best teams with the ACC record. It's not one side and the other side anymore. It's who got the best 2 records. You know what I'm saying? So we have to do our part. We always say, well, the schedule look like we can win 12 games or 11 games. No, let's do our part. Let's win the fucking games. You know what I'm saying? We always say this shit every year, but we don't win the games. How about let's win the games this year and figure it out once we get to the ACC championship? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So.
Hey, I got a question to kind of pose to UX and everybody else in here who want to answer. I don't know if anybody saw the comments from Sonny Dykes today, TCU head coach. He basically took a shot at the G5 and basically said that they need to split. They need to split the Power 4 and the G5 because there's no chance that they're competing for the same championship, even if a group of 5 team comes out. They basically gonna get their doors blown off. Anybody agree with that?
I kind of agree with that as far as the talent level. But until they figure out this situation, and Mitty, I've been screaming this for a minute about 2026, 2027, that the NCAA is basically going to be dead, and it'll be basically a two power conference. And those G5 teams are just going to be left out regardless. You know what I'm saying? So they will probably most likely have to create their own system for them to have a championship system or something like that, because they're not going to be involved in the two power conference system.
Anybody
I
else?
actually agree with that comment. I think they, if you want to be eligible for the 12-team playoff, I think you should only play P4 schools. That should be a stipulation. Because it's not, especially the more years we get into NIL, if you're going to a G5 school and you're good, they're gonna poach you. And so like it's hard for them to keep the level their best players, because every year they go into the P4 schools because of the NIL, and that's just going to continue to happen. And it just weakens their roster, in my opinion. I would much rather see Miami play P4 schools than play, and no disrespect to the HBCUs, but I don't want to see them play FAMU. I just don't. It's or Bethune. It doesn't, in my opinion, I don't
if
think
they're
it
going
does
to play
anything to
like
help
the HBCU schools and stuff like that, I think I don't know who initially said this, but they should make it the spring game. Like,
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Let the Power 5 schools play the HBCUs during the spring. Because basically it can help as far as build your roster, because if the guys can't go out there and beat up on the spring, the HBCU guys, guess what? They got to go. And then what if the HBCU team got some good guys? Guess what? Take those guys. I feel like that should be the base of spring, because you're basically saying we're going to have 15 practices in spring, and then we're going to play ourselves. How can you really evaluate if a team is good or not by playing yourself? You know what I'm saying? When you think, well, we're going to go out there and be vanilla. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to tackle the quarterback. We're not going to hit certain players. Like, that's not fully evaluating your team. Go have a full spring game against a HBCU team where you can evaluate the team. I mean, obviously, it ain't going to get that much evaluation because it's HBCU, but still, you can say, hey, well, at least we did this. You know what I'm saying? So that's to the point where I feel like if it's going to be a spring game, set up a game against HBCU instead of doing it during the season. Because the season is like, the only benefits is you're able to play freshmen. And then you're going to play the HBCU to beat up on them. That's the only benefits. It's nothing else beneficial from playing the HBCU team during the football season.
Anybody disagree that we should cut the G5 off and let them kind of fend for themselves?
Yeah, no, I don't disagree on that. I do feel that the HBCU should be a separate conference in themselves, where they just play each other, and because they can win the championship going with that Division One route that you always see, like South Dakota, North Dakota go in. But I
HBCU
do.
have his own. They have the SWAC and the MEAC.
Yeah, but that is their own bowl game. But they do have a championship division that North Dakota, I think they're called the Bisons, and South Dakota, they
Yeah.
always play. I think, and actually, back in the day, you used to get like the Jackson States, they would opt out of their Heritage Bowl that they used to have in Atlanta years ago and hop in that playoff. If the HBCUs went that route, I thought that would be pretty good. But I do agree with what X is saying is get out those HBCUs and finding a team in the spring to play. I think that would be more manageable. I think that would be good for college football as well. But that's just my thought.
No, I appreciate your insight.
Guys, I think it's more of a money thing, because especially when you play a FAMU,
because you're gonna draw well, first of all, to play a FAMU, and you're only gonna pay them X amount of dollars. So it's profitable to play schools like that for the majority of schools. I know we talk about competitiveness, I understand, but college football is also a business. And
Well,
every other sport, they play HBCUs. Baseball, basketball, all of them. They play HBCUs. So football will be no different.
Hey, I
Well, the
did have a
home games that we
question.
have,
I don't know. I hear what you're saying, but it's like you talking about money, like that would be a heck of a draw, just period. I mean, I would more likely it's you would be more apt to tune into a game that's trash versus a HBCU a spring game versus tuning into that action during the season because at least you're like I get to see what my team looks like and it don't look like the second half of the spring game is almost touch football. It almost looks like the NFL Pro Bowl. And it's like they're just trying to get through it so they don't get hurt. And then why not? Even talking about money, like why not? If you're going to already pay these teams anyway, pay them for the spring. Let them make their money in the spring game. Because you're going to cut them a check anyway. Cut them a check and make it worth your while. And let your team, hit somebody that's not on the other side of their field and stuff like that. To me, I just think it makes more sense what they're saying. And then you can jump into, and then you know what you got going into the summer, and then it opens up that portal and all. To me, it sets up well because you don't get a pregame, you don't get a preseason game, and at least you can set it up for like, all right, y'all, you can't even do well against the HBCU. Go ahead, hit that portal. Let me go ahead and replace you real quick, and then you go into your summer recruiting. So
The only thing that I disagree with that on is normally you have a large talent gap, and that's from a talent aspect and that's from a weight room aspect. A lot of times when you put your lower level colleges against your power fives, you don't get the right evaluation because when you play those teams in the regular season, you're actually subbing out by third quarter, second half because the score is so lopsided and the line of scrimmage is different. That's one of those things that Dion has said when he was at Jackson State. That's the only difference between a historically black college and a Power Five. So if that historically black college could never compete on an offensive and defensive line, you're not going to really be able to evaluate either on both sides of the field. So until you that margin gets closer in talent gap, I don't think that's going to be beneficial.
I mean that used to be true, but with the way this portal is working, just a couple of years ago we played against a formal Division 1 quarterback, and then it's up to the school to do the same thing that we're doing at the Power 4 level. Like okay, right now we've got what's the kid we just kicked off our defensive line? Pingo or what? I forgot his name. He came from Alabama. He's still in the
Carson Wentz.
portal. You don't think an HBCU was like, hey man, you out here chilling? Come on, get on this D line and run one more year so you can make it to at least get in the third or fourth round. I mean, that's on them because it's there for them to rebuild their rosters to do it. I mean, they can do the Dion method that he's doing in Colorado. That's what Dion's doing in Colorado. I mean, they can do the same thing. We've got linebackers, wide receivers that are still, and there's 3,000 kids in the portal that are Power 4 level players. They can go to an HBCU, you set it up, you give them the money, and then you're playing against a form. You don't think that even sets up better? I mean, because you can hear it. when they do the commentary when they're playing the game. This is a former Alabama 4-star recruit, and it just sets up well. It's just I think the only thing that I don't like that Miami doesn't do, that other teams do well, is this. We don't market well, but I think you can market something like that better, and it'd be a way better draw. That's just
Hey, I had a question. I hadn't joined
Hey,
one of
hold on,
the
hold on. Let me say this. Yeah. So I just got I just read the tweet. Boise State head coach basically just came out and said that no freshman is coming to Boise State and is going to get NIL money. He's basically about to shit his program because nobody's going to go to that school. Saying some dumb shit like that. I don't know why the fuck he would say something like that. That's dumb.
I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think.
But go ahead.
I think they may have to all. I think they may have to all get on board with that X to control it and pay the guys that's in the building.
Yeah, but it's not gonna happen. At the same time, you're gonna have to recruit high school guys regardless. Remember, I sent that information to you. I think last week when I said that colleges are going to start. They talking about sharing revenue or even a certain percentage with the players. So that would just take away from the fact that they got to keep paying players. But as far as this NIL money with getting recruits, it's here to stay. If you're not going to do it, you're not going to compete. It's plain and simple.
X, could that be a resource thing though for Boise State? Could it be that they don't have the money to pay freshmen coming in? Just a question.
Maybe so, because it's Boise State. So I don't think Boise State has the financial resources to just pay 85 players, let alone paying a top high school recruit. You know what I'm saying? Because what if they want the top high school recruit and he's probably going to ask for maybe 900,000? That's the entire budget right there. Saying shit, we don't have no more money to give nobody else. So I see the point. I just don't feel like he should come out and say it publicly. Like, what's the benefit of saying it publicly? Even if every school is going to agree to that same situation, should they say it publicly? Hell no. They'll let you know when you get here. Like, yeah, we kind of going to struggle with NIL money for freshmen, but we going to get you in a good situation. Tell them something like that, but don't publicly come out and say, listen, you ain't getting nothing. I mean, Georgia kind of does something similar, but they do give NIL money out, but it's not crazy money. You know what I'm saying? Kirby Smart came out and said, like, I'm not giving no guy from high school more money than a guy that's already on the team. Now, say something like that when you're winning championships. All right, hey, I feel you, coach. But when you're not winning championships, how you gonna tell anybody some shit like that? Like, well, all right, I'm gonna go somewhere else.
I mean, was Boise State getting the guys that's demanding money out of high school anyway?
Most likely not, but I guess
they're not.
Even if a kid saying, let me get 50,000 or let me get 30,000, like I think like telling the kid you ain't gonna get that at all, he's still saying shit. Fuck you.
I think you're gonna see more schools say it. I think you're gonna see more schools say it because like somebody just said it. La Tech and Georgia aren't playing the same game. Who the coach just said that? He just said it. They're not playing.
So this
That was
gonna be
Sonny
for
Dykes.
all freshmen? Because Jeremiah Smith say he was coming out next year or the year after that. A player that caliber won't get paid.
No, that's the
You got a
that's
lot
the
of
thing.
information,
Jeremiah Smith
but
isn't coming to Boise State, so that's why they can come out and say it, right? If Jeremiah Smith walked past Boise State, they'll throw an ATM machine at his ass.
No, but I get it. But you said more schools gonna adopt this method.
I think more schools.
So that's gonna be for all players.
I think more schools want to pay the guys that's in house, right, and not take the chance with the guys coming in house. I think more schools want. Well, I know more schools want to do that because I've heard it already. Like,
So they want to do it. They want to do it because they don't want to lose their guys.
Right.
But it's still a tricky situation to say, because granted, Jeremiah Smith isn't going to Boise State, but what if he does look at Boise State and Boise State comes out with that statement saying, "Well, shit, yeah, we don't give a fuck who the fuck you is, JJ. We not paying you."
The street, I think I understand what you're saying. I gotta get it. I think Boise State said it, but Boise State was carrying water. Boise State knew they not in the high bid of sweepstakes, but they said it out loud what most schools want to say. And if one person say it, then and one person do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But the thing is, like they're a P4 school though, right? So this is some of the reason why I say like it should be separated. Yeah.
No,
I think they're
G5. They're Mountain West.
No, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, G5. And some of the reason why the P4 schools and the G5 schools should be separated is just because of the money and the resources. When you look at all the schools in the Mountain West, like, yeah, from an NIL standpoint, they're never going to be competitive with P4 schools. So it's not a level playing field. And one of the reasons why I think they should separate the two.
Yeah, Street. That's I was talking. That's why I started the question off with you talking about Sonny Dykes.
Sonny Dykes, right? Yeah, he said that.
I think when money became the equation, and you know that the bigger schools could pay for kids. Like before, it was just a toss up because you could have a Boise State upset of Oklahoma, right, on a magical season run. But now that the best talent can get paid to go to a school. And schools like, Boise State kind of get left with I ain't gonna call them the scraps per se, but then maybe not as talented or not as heralded as I should say players. Yeah, I think a lot of them coaches are gonna start taking a stance saying like, like if you think we about to pay you, 60, 70, 80 to $100,000 to just show up on campus, nah, we can't do that because they have to allocate resources to other players as well. So I think that's what he meant when he said we're not playing the same game. Is that those schools, kind of like what Miller said too, like those schools have resources that the G5 just simply they can't match up. Now they can maybe hopefully take the leap like a TCU, you know what I'm saying? But TCU now they keep their head above water because they're playing with the big boys now. And there's only so many Miami kids you can poach before you gotta start actually recruiting kids. And then you also you're a small fish in a big pond with big ass sharks and whales like Texas and TCU, and Texas A&M. Like you gotta stay afloat in a talent rich area like Dallas. Like you better figure it out, and you gotta continue winning in a bigger conference. So just because some make that jump, don't mean they gonna swim.
I got a question for you. So I went to go look at Boise State recruiting, right? I want to hear something funny, and this will throw me off. The number one guy is Chris Marshall. He's nationally ranked number one in his position, number one in the state. And I was like, what? But he's a JUCO kid. You think they paid him?
Yeah.
They got 2 4-stars, and then the rest of their recruiting list is 3 stars. See, that's what I'm saying. They can safely say that because they're probably like, hey, man, listen, stop asking us for money because y'all ain't good enough to get money. That's probably what they really wanted to say. If Jeremiah Smith walks past Boise State, I'm sure they'll figure out a way to pay him.
I do think where Boise is located is cultural differences. When you in Idaho and you ain't really spending money like that, you know, like, hey, now we not paying our kids. You know, I do sometimes I feel like where we are located, like we have different philosophies.
I can agree with that.
That's a good point. Yeah, because our kids are very high. Our kids around here asking for all, like
We
our kids around here, yeah, asking for big numbers.
They acting big numbers in little league.
Right, right. Our kids on some
By the time you
others.
get to high school, yeah, it's a whole different. And so yeah, a school like Boise is they have to like I can guarantee you, Chris Marshall, probably talented as they come, and probably got a whole bunch of red flags and character issues. If you go do the research, I can guarantee it's probably some red flags with him, which is why he ended up in Boise.
I wanted to ask this question, football related. I heard X speak on this about 3 weeks ago, and I don't think, and I didn't get the gist of it. I know it was a mention of historically the issues that we have with injuries and our medical staff, like how we lose so many kids, and sometimes we never get these kids back. It takes forever. Do you guys have any idea of why is it our medical staff is it we're not putting enough money into um, that type of research? Is it, you know, is it a type of, you know, surgeries? Or we, you know, um, can anyone speak to that? Is there any knowledge on, you know, just why so many kids even get the, hey, you know, it's probably best that, you know, you not play football again, and why it takes so long to come back from these injuries?
I know. So Miami is trying to build this football only facility where um the kid could basically spend 24 hours a day there. Um, most top colleges have facilities where these kids do that. The kids go to University of Alabama. They don't go outside of University of Alabama. You know what I'm saying? They go to University of Georgia. They don't go outside of University of Georgia. Um, they be at
X, I'm
those
gonna tell you,
facilities all
X, I'm gonna
day.
tell you right now, that is 1000%.
Well, no. I mean,
When I was
not,
just at
not.
Ohio
I'm
State,
just saying. I'm just saying. Like when the kid gets injured, they there. You know what I'm saying? In Miami, a kid gets injured, he's probably still partying or he's out. You know what I'm saying? He's not where he needs to be rehabbing. Nah, that's true right there. Now I'm not, yeah, you know, you go to these colleges, yeah, you're gonna do your thing, but when it's like a football injury, stuff like that, you're gonna be in that facility 24/7 trying to get yourself back ready. Um, we just had a situation where a guy who got injured, um, rehab for a full year, and then the following year got injured again because he was dancing in a club. Like, you know, what the fuck you doing in the club when you still trying to recover from injury? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the difference I'm talking about as far as with the top program. So yeah, Miami is trying to build that football facility where they can literally live in there and don't have to go nowhere if a situation happens where they get injured, then they have the proper, you know, assessments to rehab.
yeah, X. If I didn't see it myself, I would be calling cap, but I saw it firsthand. Like uh, these kids go to other schools and they're treated like it's different. Not even just for an injury, just like just the interaction with regular people. I got a nephew. Shout out my nephew, man. He finished in his last year of medical school at Ohio State. So I was up there for his white coat ceremony. And I was asking, I was like, hey, you know this kid named Jeremiah Smith and Marvin Harrison? He's like, nah, we don't see those people. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, those people are rarely like out in the public. Like they spend all day in those facilities. And if they're not there, they're going to booster events. They're going to um shoot NIL commercials. Like they like they leave. Like I don't know if y'all saw that Travis Hunter last video. He was like at the end of the spring game, he was like, "Yep, leaving one job, going to the next," because he left, took a bunch of merch, went to a local sports bar in town in Boulder, and was selling merch and signing autographs. Like, so you don't see those people. It's like other students don't get exposed to them. Like, they see them really on the field, if I'm being honest with you. So yeah, the fact that Miami guys have so much how you say, I don't want to call it free time per se, but the 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 focus is different. Like, those guys get treated like celebrities. Like, my nephew told me a situation where Marvin Harrison, he said Marvin Harrison and CJ Stroud both had Maseratis, like, fully paid off in college. Both of them had white Maserati. He said that's where Marvin Harrison got the nickname Maserati Marv from, because he drove around a Maserati. And that's the only time people really saw him out in the streets when he was driving in his car, going to different
Man,
events.
listen, Betty, I don't know, because I know Streeter can tell you this, man. We going to practice, man, and you look in the parking lots and you start looking at them cars. You like, well, shit, what the fuck we got going on out here?
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying up in Ohio State, but it's not even that. Like, the average student there, like, they don't see these people. Like, they said,
Oh yeah.
they said that
They
Marvin
don't.
Harrison got a job, so I thought he was like, I was like a regular working job. He was like, yeah, he had a job at McDonald's, and I was like, what? He was like, yeah, when his freshman year he worked at McDonald's. He said the next day, just because he was at that McDonald's, there was a line around the corner. So I was like, he was what, serving fries and shit? He's like, no, he just shot an NIL commercial there. And I was like, oh, he's like, and then the next day there was a 2-hour wait to get a cheeseburger at the McDonald's he was at. That's the closest you get to those kids at those places. And I was like, man, this shit different. Like, so yeah, and then obviously Columbus is weird. It's not like ghetto, but it's like gentrified, and it's a weird feel. Like, I can't really describe it, but
Nah, yeah, Columbus is like Ohio State, where Ohio State says it's like in its own area. It's like a whole city within the city.
yeah,
It's
And
ridiculous.
that'd be why a lot of those kids, when they do branch out outside of those big universities, they end up getting in trouble because like they know that that's where you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be at a university. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? The only good thing is when they do get in trouble, mostly, you know what I'm saying, the university or the head coach will get the phone call first. That's the one situation where I really hate with Miami. It's like, if a player does get in trouble, they won't contact Miami first. They would definitely
Contact the
contact
Miami
the
Herald.
news, and that shit gonna be all over.
Contact Barry Jackson.
Yeah, it's
Well,
gonna
guess
be
who
all
got up
over the
here?
media. Like, you know what I'm saying? So but yeah, Miami, excuse me, is definitely still have plans on trying to build that football facility. When they do that, they will have all access to rehab, the way they're supposed to. You know what I'm saying? A lot of kids do stay off campus, so they go and get themselves in bad eating habits and bad workout habits and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a lot that goes on. I still think, by Miami being a medical school, like, we should have the best rehab.
Yeah, that's
Going
what I
on.
would. Yeah, I would think we would. I'm on the same point as you, but I do know sometimes, like how they talk about like those medical tables and things like that. Sometimes I do feel like we literally just got an indoor. When I think about the surgeries, because we are medical school, like those are doctors and stuff like that, but it's not all about the surgeries. It's about the rehab. And if we just got the indoor, maybe we don't have the other technologies um, to help with rehab and not to cause an injury again. So
Yeah, brother, I'm with you with that. I think, well, it'll come soon. I thought it definitely would have broke ground by now. There's still some stipulations and stuff going on there. I did hear from the screen game that they did raise a lot of money. They raised a lot of money. I just don't know exactly where it's going to go. But from what I've been told, is a lot of the money has transitioned over towards providing NIL opportunities for players. So I'm just not exactly sure how much is going to go for that, and then how much would go for the football facility. But they still needed some more money for that football facility. I'm not sure if they got enough just yet, but we'll see. I mean, winning cures everything. We go out and have a damn good season. I'm pretty sure we'll have the money to break ground immediately.
X, is the money being raised also? I know Dan Radakovich was talking about expanding other sports. Could that be a holdup as well? Because he wants to
No,
do other.
I'm gonna stop you there, man. Look, all that money that's been raised is football getting the money first. They have specific situations where the baseball team could get its money. They have specific situations where the basketball team gets money. The money that's being announced by Dan Radovich from that Pacific Spring was for the football team only. Nobody was getting any of that money but the football team. So and then I don't know if Streeter said, I think it was Streeter, somebody said, no, I don't even know if it was Streeter. Somebody said something about, we could go tap back into the hospital because the hospital is making a whole shitload of money. You know what I'm saying? For the school. So we can tap back into the hospital we need to. I think they just don't want to. They just want to say, hey, we did it once, we don't need it again. Because now the money is there. So if all else fails, tap back into the hospital. The hospital is making a shitload of money every year that is not being spent on anything but just sitting there. And if that money is there, man, I feel like go tap into it, man. Shit, like we're in the era where you see LSU stealing money from a hospital, like goddamn, or if people get money from boosters and stuff that they not supposed to get. If you ain't cheating, you ain't winning, man. It's just it is what it is, man. My homeboy hit me up. He lives in Chicago. He like, man, boy, X, I see y'all spending money down there, man. That motherfucker Never Shapiro back, huh? I like, man, look, Never Shapiro, he's the less of our worries. It's people, we got billionaires who just write checks that you like, damn, how many billionaires you got? You got about 10, 20 plus, easy, down there in Miami that's just waiting to write checks, but you got to win. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how things go this year.
All right, man. So that's how we do it. That's the Discord. You want to become a member, man? It's pinned at the top. The link. Want to become a you about to get in the back, man, and on Discord. Appreciate y'all for coming up there. Hit the like button. Want to become a member? If you're on Twitter, it's at the top of our Twitter, or if you're on YouTube, it's pinned at the top. We have a group meeting. The group meeting is 24 hours. We get in stuff we don't say it now in the public. You know what I'm saying? But we appreciate y'all stopping by. Up in the Discord, boys, man. Become a villain. The link is in the description. Top of our Twitter pin at the top. You see the little man moving around pointing at the top. He pointing at the link. And in the comment section, we out of here.